Academy, had an instant transformation with her videos. And again, I just want to bring her on, have a chat with her, let you see the kind of quality she's producing now on video, and have a chat with her about her experience and quite what this means to her. So I won't keep her waiting any longer. Welcome, Melanie Moore. Hi, Melanie. How are you doing?
Hi, Adrian. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
It's very exciting. Mel, we had actually, I am just going to cut quickly to the white, because unfortunately doing an interview, we've just got this little crop interview here. Oh, hang on, wrong picture. There's Melanie on the wider picture. This is your setup that you have now. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's been yeah, well, we could talk about this in a minute, but yeah, I'm loving the new look video.
Yes, and I mean, if we very quickly, here's a video. Haven't got any audio on it, but this was us. This was what you were doing a few months back. So you can see exactly the same space, and you know what a difference in quality jumping from one to the other. Yeah, I was excited, and I've been hounding you for a few years, actually, Mel, haven't I?
You have, yes, and I finally heard the call, and which make
But
myself a bit more.
I think I was just saying before we came on, I think you're very typical, really, of an entrepreneurial, well, an online entrepreneur, if you like, that is sitting and saying, actually, the lives don't matter. You know, people are there for the content, and it's like, and you know, I see people all the time sitting on the end of a bed, and the image quality is not great, and I'm going, no, it will make a difference, honestly, and I'm loving that you've made this transition now. Would be really interested to hear from you what kind of difference it's making.
Well, so I've been doing live video now since, especially live streaming, since it became a thing, you know, back in Periscope days,
Wow.
3, 4 years ago. I literally, as soon as this technology became available, and I think Periscope was one of the first ones, I was so excited, got my phone out and just started broadcasting, and I kind of just got used to it. Then I think a year or two later, Facebook Live came along, and I just continued to use my phone, and I just got quite used to using my phone to broadcast. It's quick, easy, convenient, and you know, I've got no regrets about how that started, because it was such a great training platform, just to give me the confidence to go on camera. And then you know, that's the thing, isn't it? We get used to things, and we get stuck in our ways, and even when new things come along, I think you were saying to me, you know, Mel, I thought, yeah, but you know, my phone is so easy.
Yeah.
I've got a newer iPhone now. The video quality is better. And yes, they did get better. I improved the background and the lighting, and these things do make a difference. But I think I was plateauing at a certain level, and even kind of doing things like webinars and YouTube videos. I was often either using my phone or the webcam, which is just easy and convenient.
Yeah.
But I think with anything, like, we want to make changes in our life, you know, I'm all for helping people make big transitions and changes. It often involves us doing things completely differently and getting out of our comfort zone as well, which certainly, you know, changing my equipment, the setup, it was a bit of a learning curve. And I think sometimes a lot of us don't want to go through this. You know, I'm making some uncomfortable changes to my health at the moment, which involves eating differently. You know, I could talk to you about cold showers and all sorts of uncomfortable things. But if we want to make lasting changes in our life, it does require that just brief period of transition and discomfort to get the results that you want. So I think live video is just another example of how this, you know, can happen.
Yeah. Bridget is just saying on there, true, easy to get stuck in a rut.
Yeah. So I was stuck in a video rut.
yes. And I know, you know, when we spoke originally, well, firstly, I know, you know, your tapping videos that you're doing. To me, I'm thinking that's all. It's very visual. I need to be able to hear what you're saying. I need to clearly see what you're demonstrating. To me, it was just a classic for, you know, improving the quality, and it's so important, especially if things are out of sync as well.
Yeah.
So it seemed an obvious one to me, really. But I know from speaking with you, you had a real reluctance because, or a fear, really, over the tech. I think, didn't you? It was like, I'm not going to be able to do that. I don't want to get going with all that. And absolutely, like you say, it's so easy with the phone. But we've done
I think
that,
that's
and
a whole
it was a
scenario
little bit
issue
of a
anyway.
sorry.
Yeah. For me, that's always been kind of a slight block. You know, this old story I tell myself, I'm not very technical, but I think when you're running an online business, you've just got to just dive in and
Yep.
learn it. And, you know, and when I kind of think how far I've come in 5 years just with learning other things,
Yes.
this is obviously, I did go for the upgraded option with
Yeah.
so intensive support. I am very much more of a, can you either do it for me or at least do it with me?
Yes.
Because
But that's
learning on my own, I can do it, just takes longer.
yeah. To be honest, I'm finding this more and more that people aren't wanting to go through a course. That they want and the beauty of this is, I mean, we literally unboxed everything, set everything up in about an hour and a half, didn't we? It doesn't need to be complicated. You don't need to know how that camera works. You just need to put it on the settings that I tell you and turn it on.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
actually, Mel, slightly off. Are you focusing by reaching over, or are you using the app?
Both.
Because,
If I've got the app, so we can talk about it. I've been using the video for 3 kind of main things now.
Yes.
And so firstly, I've really increased my YouTube content. I've done a lot more tapping videos because the quality is so much better. And when you see yourself kind of looking better, think, I want to roll now. I want to batch record some videos.
Absolutely.
So that's the first thing, growing my YouTube channel, which is still kind of in its early days, but there's a lot more longevity when you put stuff on YouTube than there is just by, oh,
it's all right.
Are you still there, Adrian?
Yeah.
Okay.
I gave you the screen.
Oh, thank you. It's a lot more longevity when you put stuff up on YouTube rather than I was just doing tapping on Facebook Live, which gets buried down the feed and you don't see it so much now. So now I do my tapping videos mostly on YouTube, and if I'm going to talk about a little theme like, you know, fear or whatever related to that tapping video I've created, I'll then post the YouTube link to my Facebook post.
Yes.
So that's one change. Second change is obviously Big Vision TV, which is my weekly Facebook show, which again, before I was just using the webcam on my Mac. And yeah, it was often grainy, a bit glitchy, and obviously with the, you know, following your course, I've improved the lighting and the sound, which has been hugely transformational. So I'm back in the second week of doing Big Vision TV now, using my new setup, which I'm loving. And thirdly, it's showing up on webinars and Zoom calls. So, you know, just last night, I did a webinar for, it's a long story, but I've kind of developed this new following in Russia.
Okay.
And I did a webinar for 70 Russian people.
Okay.
And I thought, obviously, I'm going to use my new video setup. And it's funny, when you are, you know, I guess it's not so important when you're just participating in a webinar or a Zoom meeting. But if you're leading, if you're running the show, then it looks so much better because they've now uploaded the webinar to YouTube with just me as the speaker view. And it's HD, the lighting's great. And it was so funny. I was telling you just before we went live, Adrian, obviously on Zoom, we can have questions and comments. And I was talking about law of attraction and manifesting and all this stuff. And the questions I got were, what skincare products do you use? You're glowing. And I'm like, okay, this is a bit off topic, but, and I kind of want to say, I don't think it's a skincare. I think it's my HD video.
That's brilliant. Well, I'm the same, and I've been on trying to do a live, and I'm trying to interview a guest, and we're talking about, you know, what it is they do, Facebook ads or whatever, and all the questions are what camera are you using? And it's almost embarrassing that it's off topic, but
I know.
but it is. And I go on Zoom calls. I do support calls with customers, and just that initial, they're almost the amount of times people say, "Oh, sorry, I've only come on my webcam," and it's almost this, "Oh, wow, I wasn't expecting you to look that good." But it puts you in a position of authority, I think, and it gives you that credibility. And yeah, absolutely. I think more and more you'll find people will just see you. It's like you're in a studio there, and you've gone to a lot of trouble to create something for them. It adds value to it, and just really helps you become the authority.
But
So
yeah,
I,
yeah,
I,
as you said, showing the old clip, I was considering um, creating a different corner of my house to build a studio, and
yeah,
I may well still do that for, different scenes, but I'm using exactly the same area as I've always used. I
yeah,
haven't changed, the location of my house or anything.
no.
I don't. So yeah, I'm exactly the same spot I always sit in.
And that's a big part of it, because I know when we were originally talking and we were looking around your home, where could we use to set up? And for me,
Mm.
I want this to be or I want for you for this to be as quick and easy and effortless as possible. So if it can just sit
Yeah.
there behind your computer where you work, and you flick the camera on and away you go, then you're not going to be tempted to go back to your webcam because you're thinking, oh, it means I've got to get the camera and the lights out. And so,
Mm.
yes, I'm all for looking around and finding a nice place in your home to work, but primarily it wants to be easy and simple for you just to go live. And I love that backdrop anyway. I think it works really well with you. Um,
And
so well
I love
done.
my lights. I must admit, I just flick them on, even just for Zoom calls and whatever. Even if I do just decide to use my webcam, if it's just, one-to-ones or coaching calls, just flicking the lights on, the soft boxes
Yes.
does make everything look dewier and fresher. Sorry, but
So
it's true.
yeah, brilliant. Um, so tell it what. So you've mentioned very much before, the being on your phone and things like that. So this hasn't been a big effort for you. Then you can now come to this, settle this. Every time you're just literally turning this thing on. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
what? So you're noticing differences already then with people kind of doing this, and yourself. You've already mentioned it's making you feel better as well. Um, these are all the
Yeah.
things that I'm trying to. I love it because these are the sort of things that I'm putting into sales messages and webinars, and you're
Mm.
confirming that that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
You're feeling better.
Yeah.
You're wanting to make more videos. All of this. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And to begin with, honestly, and as you said, beginning, you've been badgering me to do this for a while, and I couldn't really, not, I couldn't see the benefit. I kind of could, but and and I think this is going to be right for people at the right time in their business. So at the outset, absolutely go live, get practicing. But, as I said, when I started this journey a few years ago, it was experimenting. This was all brand new technology, but live streaming is still in its early days.
Yeah.
So now it's like, why wouldn't you want to just go for it, to make it look good and, have that learning curve all at the same time. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's all sorts of benefits, but if you've been doing this for a couple of years and you're ready to up level, then definitely dive on in.
Brilliant. So, what would you say to somebody who is just then, like you're just saying then, if somebody's sitting on the fence, maybe thinking, "Is this right?"
I would say just do it. And I think, there are a lot of perfectionists out there anyway who don't want to do these things until things are looking right and perfect. Then this is obviously going to add to that whole perfection thing. Obviously, it's never going to be perfect, but that whole so you're doing everything at the same time. Some people don't want to just do it on their phone, but I think this is because of the supportive community as well, and sometimes might have a little tech issue here and
Yeah.
there, and that I think that's the other thing as well. The community you provide is really invaluable because I can just ask a question
Yeah.
and obviously I've done your eCam course as well, which
Yes.
has been a double learning curve for me. So yeah, I think these last couple of months, It has taken me out of my comfort zone, but as I said at the very beginning of this call, that if you want to improve any aspect of your life, you've got to go through that period of discomfort, that growth, the learning, and then the other side is fabulous.
Yeah, absolutely. And now this is done, there isn't really any more to learn in that. So it's just practicing now, and every time you go, something might go wrong. I mean, just the other day I had this echo coming through in the audio and things, and but I won't do it again. And I do think that is the best way to learn, actually, sometimes, is to make the mistakes and go through it.
That's the only way to learn. I'm all for mistakes and things going wrong. And especially if you're doing live video, even the pros on TV experience problems with live video. So, of course, it's never going to be perfect. Things will go wrong, but, you can't let that fear of things going wrong prevent you from doing this stuff in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. Mel, you mentioned live video. It's one of the things. So I'm doing a launch next week. We're going to be, for the first time, actually, doing Pro Video Academy live. So really what has happened, and the teaching that I did for you as an individual, we're going to do as a group. And really, I'm seeing, this has been on my mind really since doing the Ecamm Live Academy, the YouTube Academy earlier in the year, or YouTube Summer Camp. I'm really for me, as my personality and style, I love this kind of live teaching. And I think so many
100%.
people have said, I think this is the way forward, rather than a course. And you're a classic, you said to me, I don't want to go through a course. I want you to tell me. And more I'm seeing people, and I'm thinking, actually, I've got a course with 30 odd videos sitting there. I think people just want me to show up and teach them live. So
100%, definitely. I'll be going through it again because I must admit I haven't watched all the videos yet, and there's still things.
Really?
Did I just say that out loud? Whoops.
The hours I spent making those videos.
But it's different personality types. Some people love to go through videos. I don't really have the time to do that. So I think if you can do it live, and again, how many, especially entrepreneurs, God, I shudder to think how many courses I've got. But it's just so much time consuming. But if you can learn it live, it's so much better, and you get the interaction from the group. So I'm definitely going to be going through the live training again, because just to fill in the holes of the gaps of knowledge where I haven't had a chance to watch all the videos yet. But the videos are great, because I can't remember, I had a little issue, this was the Ecamm course, couldn't remember how to, I think it was to add the little scenes. So I just literally just went back and watched that module. So it is there. And
absolutely. And that's, that I think as well, even at the VIP level, with me coming on one-to-one with you, even in that.
Oh my goodness, saves even more time. I would.
But what I was going to say, actually, what would be,
didn't you?
Sorry,
you called me a diva the other day.
Well, I think when you said to me, was it a princess? You said I'm a princess.
No, I meant by that, it's just that I would much rather have somebody, to do the upgraded version where I can cut out the hours of watching a million videos. And and I think that's the thing, if you are willing to invest a bit more to save the time, I would always save time. Time is the most precious commodity. To have somebody help me, then I would go for the upgraded version if you can.
I didn't mean to offend you, Mel.
No, I'm not offended at all.
What I was going to say there is, even in that, and I think the value that you'll see coming back through the group training is, we can do one-to-one, but there's maybe something that doesn't come up in our conversation that somebody else might have an issue with, that you go, I hadn't thought about that.
Absolutely.
So there's that kind of community thing that really does help. But thank you so much. There's a few comments on here, questions particularly. Moshi just put on here earlier, are we using Ecamm? Yes, we are, Moshi. Here's someone else who's got all the equipment, still using a webcam because it's so much easier. Oh dear.
Oh, Moshi, come on. You know better.
So you need to come back through the training next week, Moshi. So big launch party on Wednesday is the idea. And everybody, please come along, join us. Mel, let your tribe know about it as well. It'll be fantastic. I'm going to explain all about this training and unpack it. And then we're going to kick the thing off the following Monday. So very exciting. But
yay!
Thank you so much for being on. As soon as we did this and I'm there on the call with you and we get to look through straight away, I'm like, yes, this is looking fantastic. I'm definitely getting Mel on here to do an interview. So thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. It's been great.
And can I just ask one question? What is that skincare product you're using?
It's called a Lumix Panasonic. Get it in a pot and you just smear it in your face.
Great answer. It's funny actually because you did just say, everyone's coming on and saying this, and I'm like, yeah, all it does for me is show up the wrinkles even more.
You show up your lights brighter.
But I've got a filter for that I can show you on Wednesday.
Oh, great.
So,
I'm not playing at all.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on here. And
thanks, Adrian.
Yeah, please, I'll put a link to you as well, Mel. Guys, please check out Mel. We'll get you on here to do a proper little interview. This was really just to meet the member, for me to show you off and let everyone see what's possible through the Pro Video Academy. But we'll get you back early in the new year.
Lovely, thank you.
Thanks ever so much, Mel. Bye. Thanks all. See you soon.